Welcome, SteigerMath fans. Today, we are going to look at adding integers. Ooh, scary integers. We're going to add integers, though, three different ways. We are going to look at using integer chips. We're going to look at using number lines. And, of course, the traditional mental math in adding integers using the traditional rules. So let me go to my screen here. All right, so we have two examples here. The first will start off with 5 plus -6. So using the integer chips, I need to first represent my positive 5. So I'll use my chips here and I will pull over 5 positive. And I'm using red because of temperature. Red representing warm temperatures. And then I add, so I have to add on to it, -6 chips. And I'm going to represent negative with blue chips because it's cold. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I got positive 5 plus -6. Now to solve this, you need to keep in mind the idea of zero pairs. And what zero pairs are, it's all about the opposite integers idea. So if you have a positive 1 and a -1, there are the opposite sides of the number line and they actually cancel each other out. So if I've got 5 positive and 5 negative, they cancel each other out. They're opposite integers and they equal 0. So using my little pen tool here, I'm going to draw a line, a circle, and I'll draw an arrow, and basically this is showing that I can cancel these chips out because they equal 0. Now I am left with -1, and that is actually my answer. So I can rewrite this. So 5, positive 5, plus -6 equals -1. And that's all because of zero pairs. I cancel them out. Now if I were to do another question, this one here, -3 plus -4, now we're adding the same sign. Back here, we were adding different signs. We were adding a positive and negative. Here, we're adding two negatives together. So again, using the integer chips, I will represent this. So I need -3, 1, 2, and 3. And I need -4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Oops. 4. Now again, looking at our zero model, which is basically opposite integers, I have nothing here that are opposite. I don't have any positives and negatives that can cancel each other out. They're all negatives. So because it's an addition question, I add them all together. So I have -3, oops. I have -3 plus -4, and I add them all together and I get -7, and that there is my final answer. All right, now if I were to do these same two questions on the number line, I'll start with this one here. Positive 5, so I will go to the positive 5 mark on my number line, and I have to add -6. So basically, in other words, I am adding 6 negative feelings. Ooh. So I go towards a negative area. Going negative is going to the left on my number line. Going positive is going to the right. So I have to add 6 negative feelings here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I am down 6 negative. I don't know what happened there. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there we go. There is my -6. And where I'm left off is right here, which is -1. So positive 5 plus -6 equals -1, just like how I solved right here using the integer chips. Now, if I were to do the same thing with the other question, I'll erase this out here. So the second question, I start again on my first integer, which is -3 right here, and I have to add -4. So I'm still moving to the left along my number line because I'm adding more negative feelings. Negative, bad. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's where I am right here on my number line, and that there is -7. So if I were to solve this question, so it's -3 where I started, I add -4, I will get -7 on my number line. And again, that's the same thing that we solved over here. All right, and finally, using the mental rules, and these are the most traditional ways of adding integers, and it is the easiest once you understand the rules. But the rules also run along the idea with opposite integers and the zero pairs, and we'll look at that as well. So my first question here is 5 plus -6. So using the rules for adding integers, basically you take a look at the two integers you're adding, and whichever integer has the most, that will be your sign in your answer. 6 is greater than 5. 6 therefore has a negative sign, so my answer is going to be negative. Then I need to subtract the two. Now, a lot of you are wondering, what do you mean subtract the two? Why would I subtract the two? It's an adding question. But they are on opposite sides of the number line, and the reason why you subtract is, of course, going back to here, it's because of zero pairs. You have to take out and cancel out all of the positives and negatives that are zero pairs, that are opposite integers. So if you take them out, you're left with -1 like we showed here. So that's why in the rule you subtract the two. 6 minus 5 equals 1. So our answer is -1, just like using the chips. Now if I were to do this question here, -3 plus -4, well, we look at again our greater number, which is 4, and the sign is negative. Now in this case here, both numbers are negative, so we know our answer is going to be negative. And we subtract the 2. Oh, hang on a minute. Why are we not subtracting the 2 here? Well, we don't subtract 2 because if you look at the integer chips again, we didn't take any away here. We didn't cancel any of these out because it's the same sign. They're both negative. Here we don't subtract. We don't take anything away. We don't cancel anything out. There's no zero pairs. It's the same sign. So when you have the same sign, you simply add them. So 4 plus 3 is 7. So our answer is -7. And those are the three general ways of adding integers. Oh, and yeah, we'll see you next time.